Okay, so today we'll discuss some difficult, challenging, abstract reasoning questions. Even though I say it's difficult and challenging, it's challenging only if you look at in gross, the shapes or numbers or orientation, etc. But once you know the clue, it's very straightforward. Sometime I will show you one of the question which you have sent to me. It will look quite odd from outside, but once you know the answer, that will be one of the easiest thing actually. So that's why if the display is very odd and very confusing, try to think as much simple as possible. Your mind will struggle to think simple. The mind will try to think complex, thinking that it looks complex, so that solution should be complex one, not necessarily. Sometimes the solution is very, 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 very simple one. Let's get into the some questions. So this one, instead of me taking the answers, what is your first guess? Just think aloud so that I can help you with your thinking also.
So we've got letters. So I have to look at curved edges, straight edges, and or like enclosed bits.
Mhm.
So in set A, I'm looking at the top right box,
Mhm.
and there seems to be more straight lines than curves.
Mhm.
So I'm looking at the other ones just to make sure, and that seems to be the case. There's always more
Mhm.
straight lines and curves. Um, in set B, um, so that also seems to have more straight lines than curves.
Mhm.
So there might be a ratio.
Mhm.
So there's 3 to 1. No, that's not right. Mm, I might look at the enclosed areas then.
Before going to the enclosed area, once you calculated the ratio, there is one comes in between.
Um,
You are thinking
so
quite methodical.
yeah,
So first, overall, I will help you few things, but I will try not to tell the answer. So for
okay,
example, the first thing is number of digits every box. Global view, every box has got like 3 digits. So that's not the correct answer. It's balancing each other.
yeah,
Then next thing is there any capital and small letters orientation? Obviously not. In set A, top right, two small, I mean, one small letter and one capital letter. So there is no obvious orientation. And the
yeah,
next one, you are correct in thinking about the number of straight lines versus number of curved lines.
yeah.
You try to see the ratio, and when ratio is not working, the next step is try to see the difference. Okay, say for
Oh,
example, yeah, so what is the number of straight lines, what is the number of curved lines, what is the difference between them, and similarly compare it to B. Till now, like straight lines are always more than curved lines, both set A and set B. So go for the difference.
um, so in set A, I'll look at the bottom right.
Yeah.
Um, there's a two difference.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'll go across the next one. One,
Mm-hmm.
two, three, four. 1, 2. Another two difference. So I'll just say there's a difference of 2 for set A, and then set B, a difference of 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And
Um,
once you know that, just check quickly one more box so that you are doubly, triply sure.
yeah. So I'll check the one above A. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then two curves. So no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then two curves. So that's a difference of 3.
Good. So what is the condition?
So to be in set A, there has to be a difference of 2 between the number of straight lines and curved lines.
Mm-hmm.
And then in set B, there has to be a difference of 3 between the number of straight lines and curved lines.
Perfect. So since you're explaining now, you are using the wordy sentence to explain, but in exam, you will be thinking this in 1 second. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
go for the pattern in the test shape.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 straight and 1, 2. So set A.
Good. That's it. Okay, so again, the learning from this particular exercise is, if there is something like that, first thing is to see, is there any proportionate capital letters and small letters? Is there any proportionate numbers as such? It's not so, nothing is fitting now. Then is there any proportionate size of the letters? Again, it's not fitting. Is there any proportionate curved and straight lines? And there is no ratio, as you said. Once you know that, instead of going to enclosed space, because enclosed space is very sparse here, so D has got some enclosed space, Q has got some enclosed space, but otherwise other alphabets don't have much enclosed space. So instead of focusing on that, see the difference between the straight line and curved line, and we found a pattern. It's 2 in set A and 3 in set B, and the test shape is 2, so it's A. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Good. Go for this.
Okay. So there's a lot going on. So I'll take the simplest box. The top right in set A, there's 2 straight lines, 1 circle. So, but that doesn't seem to be a relationship. Maybe the black shapes add up to an odd, no, not that. Okay, I'll look at set. 1, 2. Okay. It might be that the number of black. No, it's not that either.
Your thinking process is correct. The only small suggestion is, whenever the pattern seems too complex, like this one, as I
Yeah.
said, the most important thing is the answer should be very, 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 very simple. So think like that. Okay, that is number
Okay.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
all the boxes in A have a black circle,
Mm-hmm.
and all the boxes in B have a white square.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. What about the test shape?
Um,
There may be second condition, but before going to the second condition,
set A.
set A, but we can't be very confident in that,
Yeah.
because a set the test shape contains 2 black circles, while in set A, this one has got only 1 black circle, this one has got only 1 black circle. Okay, another clue to do these things: whenever these kind of complex things comes with one predominant shape, especially in the center, there should be some weightage to it. Okay,
Okay.
the examiners won't set a question with such a complex thing by putting such a very complex winded bended structure in the center. Okay, so you can see that there is always a nice big structure in the center, and try to see if you can relate that center part as one of the condition. Not necessarily that's the only thing.
The number of lines is odd in B and even in A.
Yeah, you can take it number of lines or number of corners. Okay, so if you
Okay.
take number of lines, it's odd here, even here. If you take number of corners, it's odd here, even here. Either way, you will get correct answer. Okay,
Okay.
so take it like that. There is no need to do 2 times. Of course, in exam you will do only one of them, whichever comes to your mind. And
Yeah.
with that in mind, what do you think the test shape may match to?
A.
A. Fine. But since this is a bit of a very evenful picture, we need to see, is there any other second condition just to help us in, depending upon the time how you are performing in the exam. If on the right top and corner, if you see your time is doing well, your planning is well, there is nothing wrong in looking for the second condition. But having said that, if you have already spent good amount of time in any of the previous questions, this is more than enough. You can just put A and go for it. That's it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But there is another condition which you can give a try if possible, if there is anything. how we can be sure that there is no other condition is, look for one pattern first. Say for example black circle. The black circle
Yeah.
is not following because it's 2 here, it's 1 here, it's 2 here, that's it. Look for the white circle, it's not even present in few things, again that's it. Look for the square, not in everything, that's it. Look for rectangle, nothing. So again, if you check for 4 5 samples and if it's done, it's done. There is no point in wasting your time. The answer is A. You can go for the next one. Okay. So I don't
Okay.
want you to go for the next one without thinking about the second condition, just for a few seconds. But second condition, you will work out only if you are performing well with your time. If
Okay.
you are performing bit tight with your time, with first condition, if you are happy, you can go for it. Of course, there is a very rare possibility we may miss something, but the overall that will be fetching you a lot of good marks because you may be having some very plumb questions in the end of the section, closer to the end of the section.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
This one.
Okay. So I should probably look at the centerpieces. There seems to be 2 intersections in the middle of all of B, and then A, it's 1 2 4. No, 1 2 3. Oh, maybe not. No. Is it even and odd? 1 2. Maybe not. The corners. So. Okay. So.
Just think aloud with the answer. So let me see your steps of approach.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the corners right now. Okay, so the corner shapes in A are all odd, and so are the elements in the middle. And then it's the opposite for B, so it's all even side shapes. I can't figure out the number of intersections. Would an overlap count as in like a shape inside a shape count as an intersection?
Okay, I will help you with that. So you felt that the corner four structures have got odd number of shapes, number of sides, and here we
Yeah.
got the even one. Okay.
Yeah.
So with that formula, if you look into it, if you take this as a corner one, we got even, 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 even. Okay.
Yeah.
So that alone is B, but
Yeah.
we can't take that because there is some overlap happening here, while none of them had the corners getting overlapped. Okay. The other thing
Okay.
in the corners there is no overlapping anywhere. Okay, but in the test shape we have little bit of overlapping here. And the other thing is the overlapping is of two types. If you follow my arrow, this overlap is not an intersection. It is definitely just touching. Okay. So
Yeah.
don't count this as an intersection at any place. Not necessarily this question. I'm telling for every other question also.
Okay.
If there is an overlap like this, we can't say it as touching. We can't say that overlap is 0. It is as good as 2. You can see that there is a good crossing here, good crossing here. Similarly, here also there is a good crossing here, good crossing here. You can see a bump here. So I will label this as two intersections, again two intersections here and there. So a total of 6 intersections here. While this is not an intersection, it's only touching. There is no intersection at all. You can see the difference between touching here and intersection here. Intersection will create a bump inside, while here there is no bump created or here. Are you able to get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so the intersections alone is something like 2 plus 2 plus 2, almost 6, while all the pictures in set A, set B, the intersection is only 4. So it's like 2, 2, It's like 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. Even here it's 2 and 2, even though it looks complex. So
Yeah.
every picture of set A, set B has got only 4 intersections, while this one has got like 6 intersections. So the answer is neither.
Okay.
Okay, so I know you may not be thinking neither in the back of your head. I thought of say like whether it belongs to set A, set B or neither, but if I say that, that itself will become a clue to you. So that's why, but usually you know that there will be always a neither if possible, and neither can be sometime 1/3. The probability is equal to A and B. Think like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
of course in exam you have options, so you won't forget neither also. Okay.
Yeah.
So the lesson from this pattern is number one, you're correct. There are two ways to approach it. One is focusing only on the corner shapes and trying to get into a conclusion. You made a brilliant move that the edges are only odd here while edges are even here. But the only problem here is it is even, which goes towards B, but this one is really working against us. None of the corner shapes anywhere has got touch or intersection with others, while here we got something like that. So that will make you to think a little bit step behind that. Come on, let me don't commit to B. Let's see if there is anything happening. Then you are jumping to the center main section. The aim is to calculate intersections first. Any shapes like this, triangle, square, circle, intersection, the first thing is intersection. And if the intersections are not differentiating you, then you need to calculate the side. Okay, and you can even calculate the side of the predominant shape versus side of the enclosed shape, something like they're all step B, step C, like that. But here in the intersection itself, it's 4 4 4, it's ticking 4 everywhere. But here definitely it's only 2 here. Even if you omit these two, it's only 2 here. You can see that there is no 4.
Yeah.
So either you make it as 2 intersections, it's not A and B. Even if you take it as these things, it's 6 intersections, it's not A and B. Either way, it's not 4. This can be never 4, so the answer is neither. Okay?
Yeah.
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 So as you see, we are picking only the difficult things and we are trying to work out the challenging answers. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Go for this.
Okay. Okay, so I'll look at maybe the total number of sides because color doesn't seem to be
Yeah. Go for it.
a fact. So the total number of sides in the top left is 9. And then I'll go below that, it's also 9. And then next to it is 6. So it's not matter of like odd or even. It might be okay. So from what it looks like in set A, either the left-hand side or right-hand side is odd, and then the other is even. I'll just test that. 1, 2, 3, 10. Yeah, I think that might be the rule. And I'll look over at B. B seems to be slightly different. I think it's but then there's a diagonal. So that won't be a rule.
Okay, so what you need to do is you need to keep all the options. Okay, so some people are quick in calculating the number of sides. Some people are quick in calculating the orientation. And the other thing is the right angleness of the shapes, isn't it? So see which one you can make it quickly. Okay.
Okay.
The right angleness in the shapes, does it make any sense?
Yeah. Wait, I'll just calculate. All right. 2, 5, 6. Um,
As you're speaking, you're always having a scribble pad and pen with you, okay, during the
yeah.
sessions. Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It says 8 right angles in the bottom right of B. I'll jump over to the one next to it. So 1, 2, 3, 6. So there might be an even number of right angles in B. So then in A, there's also an even number in A.
Yeah. So once if it is not fitting, just ignore that rule, okay? Because uh, just check every rule. But if one rule is not fitting, there is no point in spending even a 0.1 second in that. Okay. So think.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it that in A there's one right angled shape?
Perfect.
B
In the
there's
corner.
two right.
Yeah. So in set A, there is at least one of the corner has got a shape with one right angle minimum. While in
Yeah.
set B, we have got at least two shapes with one right angle. So how to come to that? That's the main challenge, isn't it? So how to come to that is your thinking process is correct, but you have gone to the level of counting total right angles. But one step before that is what is the total number of shapes with right angle? Simple one, okay, which is easier. The easiest thing is counting number of shapes with right angle. So here, shapes with right angle 1, 1, 1, 1. You can just count in less than a second, isn't it? 1,
Yeah.
right? While if you are counting the shapes, it will be little bit more seconds extra. And the other thing is when you are counting the right angles, if you are counted here 4 right angles, okay? And instead of going to the other simple one, 4, just go for here and see that there is only one, and here there is plenty. Okay, so if you calculate, it's like 1, 2, 3, there is a more than 2, 4. So then you will be seeing that it's not fitting with each other. And so there is only like one shape with right angle in set A, two shapes with right angle in set B. So the answer is A. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is happening, Ria, is you are getting the correct answer. There is no doubt in it. But when you are thinking slightly complex things ahead of a simple thing. So
Yeah.
the number of shapes with right angle is a simpler one compared to counting number of right angles. Got it?
Yeah.
So that is the one thing. So here also, like focusing on the four corners is good, but focusing on the intersections is much more predominant because big shapes and obvious intersections in set A and B. So your first step for these kind of things is count the intersections. If it satisfies, that will tell you the answer 8 out of 10 time. And similarly here, the predominant one, center, number of sides or number of corners, that itself will build the cat. And then if you have the time, look for the distractors to make sure they are definitely only distractors. So here we got like 90% of the peripheral stuffs, everything is only distractors. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. You are getting the correct one, but I wish you to not miss the simple one, especially for the complex things. The complex things like this or this, the simplest one will be the simplest one. Okay, the answer should be the simplest one. This one
Yeah.
we have finished. This one is very interesting. In fact, this is the one you want to do. Go for it. I will help you with the steps also.
Okay.
It's
So
not
from
that common to have what figure completes a series, but if it comes, believe me, this is one of the easiest one to do.
okay. So just as a general rule, there seems to be a black spot in every other picture. So, or is that maybe, yeah, okay.
There is one thing slightly even simpler to that, Ria. I wish you to go more simpler in thinking. Since you have done so many mocks, I think you're a bit tuned on the higher complexity. I wish you to think a little bit more simpler.
So it's increasing in the number of squares around it.
Good. That is the simplest one. Okay. And how it increases?
It increases by 1
Good.
every 2.
And the orientation is
The same.
okay.
Oh, clockwise.
Clockwise. So that is the simplest one. Okay, so the simplest one is, the first thing one you need to see is everything has got a center box which is hatched. That is common.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, all the options also the center box is hatched. So it's not going to help you, but at least it gives you an idea about that. And then it starts with one box and then it grows by one box, one box, one box in a clockwise manner. Okay,
Yeah.
that gives you an idea that there is a possibility that the answer may be another box grown up or some difference, something is there. Definitely not necessarily 100% growing up, because from here to here there is no growth in the box, there is only change in the shape. Okay, so that you can think like that. So something is happening clockwise. Okay, so then if you see, just remember this pattern. Okay, blank, blank with black dot, striped with blank, striped blank, black dot. So something is happening, and whenever something new is happening, it starts with a black dot. Got it?
Yeah.
A new square, when it comes with a black dot. That is one thing you have seen. The
Yeah.
other thing is white, white, stripe, stripe. Okay, something like that. And
Yeah.
once a shape is formed and it grows beyond that another petal, the earliest petal remains same. Okay, something
Yeah.
like that. Okay, so the, for example, here the earliest petal is hatched. Okay, so from the hatched, the first one is blank, then there is a dot, and then it goes like that. Okay, as it goes like that, the white will become hatch and hatch will stay like that. Dot will become white, white will stay like that, and white will become hatch. Okay, so the starting with a dot, then the dot will become white, and then the white becomes hatch. For example, here, that is the order. Okay, so here for the next step, the dot should become white. There is no doubt in it. So dot always becomes white. Okay, so dot should become white. If you take that, this is the commonest one. Dot should become white. The other
Okay.
thing is, when dot becomes white, new petal won't come. New petal will come only after a white is there. Okay, here we
Yeah.
have dot, so new petal won't come, but this will become white. That goes more with C. Okay,
Okay.
now check again what is happening. When the dot becomes a new white and then the dot forms again, that white stays for two counts and become hatch. For example, two counts become hatch. Okay, so here we have two counts, it stayed white, so it should become hatch. Got it?
Yeah.
So overall things are, it's like you need to think as if a rose or a flower where it gives one petal, and as the new thing forms, the changes are happening only in the clockwise direction, the old thing remains same.
Yeah.
Okay, so the white becomes hatch and remains same. So the white becomes hatch and it will remain the same. Center one is a hatch, is the oldest one. It once become absolutely old, it will remain the same. The white after two white becomes a dot. After two white becomes a dot. Next place. So the already two white is there, it becomes dot. After dot it becomes white. So after dot it becomes white. If you write like this in a paper, quickly scribbling multiple times, you will see it always comes to C. Got it? Slightly complex, I will say, but at the same time, this is also slightly rare. I don't think that often you will see. The commonest one, as you know, is A, B, or neither. Okay, what figure completes the series is only like 12 questions out of the whole 50. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, go for this.
Um. Okay. So each box has the same like type of shapes and the same number, so it's not number. Uh, okay. So um. Okay. So if um. So I'm noticing the arrows pointing in directions.
Mhm.
Um. the arrows in B point downwards if it's a white circle, and upwards if it's a black circle.
Good. So for B, white down, black up. Okay. Now you're
Yeah.
writing it in your white sheet. Okay. Yeah. For A.
For A, it's not the same. For A, if it's at the bottom, it's up. And if it's at the top, down.
So here, what your brain should throw at you is the arrow can point up, down, and left, right. That's another orientation. Okay. So for B, up, down works very well. All white big circles got down facing arrow. All big black circles got upward facing arrow. Big black circle, upward facing arrow. Okay. Now apply in A with left and right.
Yeah, so A, so if the circle's down and black, it points towards the right and up. If it's down and white, it points towards up, left.
Okay. 1 second, Ria. The UCAT is not that bad to challenge you. It is up and down or left and right. It should not be both. Maybe, but usually it won't be as complex. Again, for set A, you are thinking too complex. Just think only left and right.
So white is left, black is right.
That's it. Okay. So your thinking of left, up, right, down is correct. But before that, you are missing a simple step where set A, white up, black down. Is it more simple? Isn't it? Or white left and black right? That stays perfectly. Okay. So that is the simplest one. And if when simplest one works, you don't need any complex ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So black down in the test sample not fitting with set B, obviously. But black right sets well with set A. Okay. Black right. Got it?
Yeah.
That sets well with the black right, black right, black right. So it's answer A. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So how to remember this? Whenever there is an arrow, direction of the arrow is very important, especially when it is focusing the corners. Even if the arrows are focusing the corners, you can still orient your mind to think up, down, right, left. Not necessary into northeast, southwest or something like that. You can still think up, down, right, left. See which is up, down, see which is right, left. There is a small possibility in a question where all these things arrow will be like left for black, right for white. All these things it will be exactly opposite. That's much more simpler. So use the simplest one. If it's not fitting, then use the next complex one, which is up down for one side, left right for other side. Okay. Only if that is not working, then you need to think about up left, up right. Believe me, that will never come. Okay. Good. There is no need for thinking to the third degree or fourth degree. Usually, first or second degree, you will be finding the answer. Okay. Okay. Go for this.
Okay. So, cases. I'm seeing loads of black stars in corners. For A, and then in B, there's definitely always a triangle in a corner, a black triangle.
Perfect.
So, okay, so I need to find a second thing. Well, no, could I say this one is set B?
Okay, so how do you come to that?
Because I know that there has to be 2 black stars in each of the corners for A, and there's only 1 black star there.
Okay.
And there's a black triangle there, so I'd say B.
Okay, so the thing is like the basic thing is at least 2 corners should have a black star At least one corner should have a black triangle. Okay, that is the only thing. You can't take as one star in the corner because there are some pictures where there is no star in the corner. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, you can take the other things, like for example, there are two rectangles next to each other in all the pictures. And while here there are something like one, two circles are next to each other in all the pictures. They're all secondary rules. Frankly speaking, you may not need the complex ones also. Okay,
Yeah.
good. But if you have time, you can use the secondary rule and take it forward. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Go for this.
Okay. So I noticed that there's a lot going on.
So what is the mantra? If there is lot going on, the answer will be very, very simple. You have to take it very simple. Think as if you are going for 11 plus exam.
Larger shapes on the bottom of A and larger shapes on the top of B.
Perfect. That's it. So whenever it's very complex means even the SME, subject matter experts, when they are setting it up, they know that the guys or the students will get confused with these kind of shapes. Okay. So they will try to make people a easy answer otherwise. So don't count the shape, don't count the sides, don't count the right angle, nothing. Think very, very basic. Maybe you can think number of shapes, that's not a problem. For example, 4 here, 3 here, but there are some lines coming. We don't know whether lines can be counted into a shape or not, but it's not fitting. It's 4 here, but it's 5 here. So obviously the simplest one is not there. The next one is, as you said, largest is bottom on A, largest is top on B, and it comes nicely fitting into this. Okay, and you have answered this, attempted this once in the mock, that's why it's comes quite close to you. Okay, but believe me, it will be exactly the same. Okay, sometimes it may be even right and left. Okay, so don't forget that also. Sometimes the largest one will be on the right for the set A while it will be left for the set B. Okay,
Yeah.
good, well done. Go for this. This is a very good series, so I'm going to give 2 3 like how it happens in the exam. So let me see how you are going to get it.
Okay. So okay. So there's some numbers and some letters. I'm gonna say 1, 2. Okay.
I will give you one clue which you need to think as almost like first or second item. How will you
Yeah.
globally classify the numbers into predominant things? Predominantly, how will you classify the numbers? Two big groups.
Even and odd.
Very good. Similarly, alphabets, predominantly how you can classify them?
Vowels and
Good. Anything with round, anything without any round. For example, T, A, or example for the alphabets without round. Okay. So predominantly alphabets have round shaped without round shape. Predominantly odd even. Now think whether that makes any sense.
Okay. So in A, if it's just straight, predominantly straight lines, or just so in A, if there's no curved lines, it's an odd number. And if there's at least one curved line, it's an even number.
Okay. Now you see you're getting into one curved line. That is the next step, isn't it, Ria? The first
Yeah.
step is curved odd. No curve even. That is the first step. Just
Yeah.
try to achieve it with that basic itself before going to counting number of curved, number of straight, etc. That comes the next step. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
In B, if it's straight, it's even. If it's curved, it's odd.
Okay. So now you see you're going to solve 4 questions or 5 questions based on this theme. That's how the exam is, isn't it? So once you get a theme, in the same theme, you will get 4 questions. So after solving set A, set B, you should give your mind a clean sentence. Okay. So how I will give is set A curved even, set B curved odd. Is it simple?
Mm.
Okay, so it's correct, you're thinking in different words, but once you finalize it, curved even, curved odd. Once you
Yeah.
give this single instruction to the brain, then next four questions will go like within 1 second you can finish all the four questions. Got
Yeah.
it? So curved even, curved odd. Okay. You don't have to say even A and B, because once you say two sentences, you have trained your brain. The first sentence is for A, second sentence is for B. Okay. So curved even, curved odd. That's the only four words you are going to follow that. Now, which one belongs to A?
Um. Oh yeah, D.
Okay, so why I actually mistakenly touched it. So how to commit is, so we know that it's curved even, so
Yeah.
it's curved, no, but even, so definitely not. It's curved but there is no even letter. It's curved but it's odd, so
Yeah.
it's curved but it's straight, it's odd. You understand that? So that's a D. Got it
Yeah.
now? So it's straight means it should be odd. Straight should be odd. Straight should be odd. Okay. So now next few questions, so same set A, set B, only the options will change. Go for this.
Okay.
But beware, read the question. Okay.
Set. So that'd be B.
Okay. So now you see it's very quick. So you know that it's curved odd, it's not curved even. Done it.
Mm.
That's it. And once you know B, you don't have to even think about C and D. You can point B and then go ahead. The chances of getting it wrong is very, very, very rare. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for this, but make sure you are selecting the correct set A or set B. That's a very catch.
Set A. C.
Perfect. Okay. You don't have to even check it. Go for this.
Set A. C.
Good. So the best way is you have given your brain the two sentences or four words. Set A, curved even, and think similarly, curved odd. Okay, don't give too many words like curved even, non-curved, odd. Don't think like that. Curved even, curved odd. It's very easy to remember, so that next four questions you will never come back to that. Your main aim is to make sure whether they are asking A or B. That's the main thing. Okay,
Yeah.
good. This one,
A.
good, straightforward. So you have learned few main tricks today. First thing is too complex, very, very difficult. Irregular shapes, something you think that it's impossible to think, smiley shapes, something like that. Why they have copied some smileys from WhatsApp or something like that. Take it very simple, it will be the simplest one. Heavy below or above, heavy right or left. Okay. The other thing is, see if you are able to count the number of objects, if not number of angles. If there is too much of right angles, believe that the UCAT will never make you to count more than like 10 right angles on the A, 15 right angles on the B. It means something we are doing wrong. Okay. Today, the questions what you are discussing is the maximum difficult questions you can get. I purposefully selected only those things, obviously from what you have sent me from your mock exams. You will never get anything complex than what we are discussing today. This is the maximum complex. Even the maximum complex, once you get that key words, then you can finish the sets in very, very short time. Okay? Got it.
Yeah.
Go for this.
Okay.
With this, we'll
So-
finish. That will be a good one for you.
Okay. So, I have a feeling it might be to do with angles.
Mhm.
So I can see,
Again, Ria, if you don't mind, uh, what are all the possibilities? You just think before getting into angle, what are all the possibilities? Okay, what are all the things you need to consider? Okay, first is angle, nothing wrong in it, but I will correct it bit later. What is the other thing?
Even, odd, like each hand pointing to an even or odd number.
Okay, next one. Because like the mnemonic, we should know what are all the things we are looking for, and then I will correct you how to think in that which order.
Any symmetry, which there isn't. Mm. So the number.
Okay, now you have given everything. The other two important things, especially when there is a clock, is short and long hand. Okay, short and long hand. Okay, long hand will touch here. Okay, the other thing, unfortunately, this question is a difficult one. That's why I'm discussing is open arrow and closed arrow. Can you differentiate that? So this one has got two open arrows, one open arrow, two closed arrows, open arrow, closed arrow. So there are few things happening here. So the main things are open arrow, closed arrow, short and long hand. Okay. And then of course angles, those things are there. But in my view, possibly I may be biased because I know the answer since I prepared it. In my view, looking at the arrow, making sure it's short or long, and whether it's open arrow or closed arrow is more simpler compared to an angle of 180 degree, 90 degree, etc., etc., and finding the numbers also, especially in a clock without any numbers. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So try to look into the simplest thing, and now with that in mind, say for example short hand, long hand, open arrow, closed arrow, just see is there any pattern in set A. Forget about set B, just in set A.
So
there is one more clue possibly you have not have come across. Let's see how you are able to think.
So
So the one more clue I will tell Riya. So what's happening is these questions, whenever there is a clock phase, there is always a division of numbers like 1 to 6, 7 to 12. Always. Very, very common. Okay. You may have seen it few times. So the numbers 1 to 6 are grouped as something similar and 7 to 12 are grouped as something similar. Very rarely they will group like horizontal line, the numbers below it, numbers above it, very rarely. Okay. So here, if you draw a line like between this 12 and 1 and going here like 6 and 7, think like all the arrows on the right of the line, left of the line.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, good. Go for it.
So all the arrows on the right of the line are open, and the ones on the left of the line are closed.
Is there any other thing apart from that? The same thing what we have discussed. All the lines on the right are short, while all the lines on left are long.
Yeah.
Okay. So as I said, any clock phase exam question, think about open arrow, closed arrow. Think about short and long hand because that's how the clock works. And think about some symmetry. Commonest is the symmetry running through like this, which makes your clock into left and right. Unfortunately, they can't do it 12 and 6 because then you can't count 6 and 12, isn't it? So that's why it's slightly squeezed here so that 1 to 6 will be grouped together, 7 to 12 will be grouped together. Okay. Compared to this, calculating an angle is difficult here. Compared to this, calculating angle is difficult, or calculating a number like for example 2 plus 7, 9. Then here it's like 1 plus 2, 3. Calculating numbers is difficult. Okay, so go for the simplest one and then go for this. I'm not saying this will be applicable 99.9%, but this will be applicable for 70% at least. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we have come across that we are putting a line across grouping 1 to 6 and 7 to 12, and it behaved well with set A. So remember only one of the thing, 1 to 6 short open arrows. That's it. Give your brain only a very key word. 1 to 6 short open angles. Okay. Now see in set B, similarly how you can give your brain some fixed numbers.
7 to 12 short open arrows.
Good. That's one way. 7 to 12, short and open. So you need to give a very rhyming thing to your brain, because your brain needs to think it for next 4 questions. Okay. So 1 to 6, short and open angle. 7 to 12, short and open angle. Easy to remember. Okay. So short and open angle, whenever it's on the right side, set A. Whenever it's on the left side, set B. Something like that, which belongs to set B. We need to quickly look into the set B. Is there anything here? Okay.
So it'd be B.
B. That's it. So quickly, if you look at this 7 to 12, the only place where there is an open short angle is B. The answer is B. And if you get any number of questions, you can just smash through it. Go for it.
C.
Good. That's it. Okay. I can give another 5 questions of same type, but it will be only a time consuming thing for you. Got it?
Yeah.
Good. So, Ria, the main take home is number 1, you are already doing very fine. Whenever you are doing outperformingly good, the first important thing is keep calm, try to get into a nice circadian rhythm, try to sleep, I will say easy 9 o'clock every day. Try for it. You have got 4 or 5 days to train yourself. You should get up at least by 5:30, if not 6. And if given the choice to me before going to the exam, just sit eyes closed, preferably seated below in the floor, few minutes just observing your breath. It will make a big difference. Don't do anything the night before, definitely not in the day of the morning. During the test, you will be thinking as if you are going to answer all the questions correctly. You are going to do something like a gobsmacking record breaking 3600. Think like that. Nothing wrong in it. You're not going to pay anything for thinking, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Then approach every question confidently. People who have got full marks in subsets, like for example, abstract reasoning or verbal reasoning, especially decision making, people have got full marks, like 600 out of 600.
Yeah.
Even those people have got difficult questions, guessed it, flagged it, come for the second sweep, looked at the question again, and again they thought that's the best guess and left it. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's quite surprising for them also. Oh my god, I think I guessed at least 4 questions in decision making and I got full. Oh, how nice the guess worked. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, you will be thinking it's guessing, because in your brain, unless if you are absolutely 100% sure of the answer, you won't give that happiness to your heart. You will feel that I'm not 100% sure, I'm only guessing. But your mind knows that it's a very, very calculated, intelligent guess. It's not a simple guess. You're not thinking icky picky ponky. You are still making a very judgmental guess. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then other thing is, after you should go for second sweep, if possible third sweep. Again, third sweep, you should look into the time. If the time you are doing well, go for a quick second sweep and come for that 1 or 2 questions for the third sweep. Then in between subsets, again, close your eyes. Whatever happened in the previous subset, you will be thinking only the same 3 things. The subsets finished very, very well. Absolutely, I have cracked it. Subsets going to come, I'm more confident than the previous set. Always more confident. Okay, the thing should be always in ascending. I am more confident in the subsequent subset. You can label it as AR if you know it's AR, but I'm just telling you in general. I'm going to do more confident in the next subset, and then if possible, try to focus again on the breath, eyes closed, just for 5 seconds. 1 minute is too big for relaxation. Just for 5 seconds, that will reset your brain and you'll be fresh for the next subset. Think and write quickly, forming Venn diagrams. Make it a little bit legible and make it bigger so that you won't make the mistake of you think that you are having a Venn diagram with the overlapping center, but while drawing you may just touch each other and you miss that center overlapping point. So those kind of errors can be omitted if you're drawing a little bit bigger. And as soon as the next set of 5 questions turns, rub completely and go for it. And your center will be absolutely fine. There won't be any lacunae from the center's point of view, like bad system, bad appearance, bad calculator, marker right, not writing. Believe me, they will do everything possible to help you to get the best. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. You're doing very well. I know it may be too late for you, but try to send at least, as usual, 5 to 7 VR questions so that we'll do VR for you tomorrow. And it's nice to have a bit of a challenging one now. And maybe close to the exam on Friday or Saturday, I'll give you a very easy VR so that will be more giving you a boost for you. Okay, send me the difficult VR with answers, and the aim is to train you how to get into the answer. Got it?
Yeah.
Good.
One thing I just wanted to ask
Yeah.
is, do they provide water like if you need it in between the subsets?
Yeah, I think it's possible, I think, but most often people won't even think about water. You will be
Yeah.
absolutely fine because have a last good sip of water and have a toilet break before entering the actual exam hall. That two
Yeah.
hours will fly. You won't have any water need, you won't need any break also. You can have a break, you will be provided water, but that will be waste of time for you. And
Okay.
you won't even need it. Your body physiology will be absolutely pumped with adrenaline and you will be absolutely fine without water, without any toilet break. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Well done. So send me some VR before you sleep today and we'll work
Yeah.
it tomorrow. Okay,
Thank you.
good.
Bye.
All the best. Bye.